to my new classroom. I was transferred from a middle school to a K-8 and from music to general electives. I observed some classes last week, but this week is my first week just on my own. And I normally eat breakfast before I come, but I wasn't hungry before I left, so I just brought my burrito with me. So I'm mostly doing just like introducing myself, getting to know the kids today, and then I think we're going to do a short activity, which I need to prep for. I wanted an activity that would get them up and out of their seats. So I wrote numbers on Post-its and I'm going to hide them around the room. And then I have Legos on the counter and they're going to have to match up the number of dots on the Legos to the number on the sticky note. And I'm hoping to, number one, just kind of get an idea of their comfort level with numbers, because I think some of these kids might be behind. And number two, just give them a chance to get up out of their seats. We'll see how it goes. So I'm finished with my day. It is definitely an adjustment to figure out kind of what level these kids are at compared to the middle schoolers that I'm used to. It went fine, everything went okay, but it's going to be a different pacing. It's going to be a different pacing, which obviously makes total sense. I just have a pretty wide range from first to fourth of abilities, so it's going to be just a matter of kind of scaffolding my lessons for very broad range of abilities. I have just a little bit of kind of figuring out that I need to do before tomorrow, but I should be pretty much ready to go for tomorrow, and then I need to plan the rest of the week. Okay, now you are. Talk loud over the printer.
Talk loud over the printer, okay. So unfortunately, this Norfolk pine didn't get enough light until we added this light. And this poor stem didn't make it. So there's lots of new growth in these. This one didn't make it, so we're gonna have to chop them and hope that the rest of the tree is savable. Just wanna make sure I'm putting the right one. I'm gonna cut them high.
Okay.
Because we can always gin them up. Oh yeah, that's crunchy. That is not healthy.
Oof.
That's just dead.
Yep.
Poor guy. Rest in peace.
It's so small now.
I know. It'll fill out though. It's just absolutely dead on the inside.
How does that make you feel?
Very sad. But don't look up.
Ooh. Disgusting. Back for day 2. I worked out this morning and took a shower, and I haven't really figured out that routine or timing yet, so my hair is a little bit of a mess. I also walked into my classroom this morning and found a new tub of blocks that I've never seen before. I don't know what type of blocks they are, but I think they're actually going to work well for the activity I had planned for today. So I'm assuming that if they're in my classroom, I can use them. So that's what we're going to do. I need to figure out who I actually see today so I can get my seating charts. Maybe I don't actually know. think I know who I saw yesterday, and there are only 3 other options of what it could be today, so we'll find out who shows up. It is currently 9:30 on a Tuesday night. Tuesday, bud? Yes. Wow, I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday, I'm sitting on the couch with Atlas. He's eating some treats. And I have not fully planned for my classes tomorrow. This feels very first year teacher because I'm teaching at a grade level and a content that I've never taught before. I have no pre-planned things to fall back on, and the kids are going to show up tomorrow. So I don't think it will take me very long to get a basic plan in place. I already have the warm-up planned. I just need the main lesson block. Hi, bud. But I need a main lesson, so I'm gonna try to knock that out in the next 10 minutes or so. I try really hard to keep a strong work-life balance where I don't do any planning outside of school. But sometimes that's just not realistic, especially in this position. And I had an unusual number of lessons and meetings after school today, so I wasn't able to get it done earlier in the day. So here we are. Boop. No kisses. Boop. Yes. Which one? Yes, good boy. So cool.
So why should you go down south?
Yeah. It is now Friday, and I've had 2 days of really prep heavy lessons. We made Lego and K'NEX gondolas, talked about zip lines and like very basic physics of zip lines, and then tried to build our own zip line gondolas, which the kids were very excited about. So I'm definitely going to do that with my next group of 4th graders next week. And then today we did a project with 4th grade. I found all of these fake quarters. I decided that we were going to do mazes out of cardboard tubes because I have a bunch of these in the classroom as well. So I had toilet paper rolls that were worth 25 cents, and then these medium length rolls for 50 cents, and then paper towel rolls for 75 cents. And they could work together in teams and pool their money, but I gave them each $2 to start with. It was really good for them to kind of get practice, like, oh, I can't just ask for this and it's handed to me. I actually have to give you something for this. And then they figured out on their own that they could return things if they wanted their money back or if they wanted to exchange it for something else. So I think it was some really good just real life practice, and they built some actually very cool mazes. I didn't have time to build a great example of these ball mazes, so I built a 2-part example, and they all instantly understood and didn't need a bigger example than that. So I think it's just a reminder that kids are creative if you let them be and you give them the space to be creative. As long as they understand the assignment, that's all that matters. So with those groups today, we started a typing practice thing that with a website that I found where they can practice their typing skills. I figure it will help typing and hopefully some just like basic word literacy recognition. And then we built their initials out of these cubes that I found in my room. I think they are math cubes, but I'm using them for building things. I do have a little bit of tear down to do before I head out today, and just make sure that all of my materials are in a safe place. I share this classroom with 2 other teachers throughout the day, so I kind of have to make sure that my projects are self-contained and go away at the end of my classes so that my materials are where I need them to be the next day I come in. I'm also going to clean up without shoes on because I bought new shoes and this is the first time I'm wearing them, and I had blisters on the back of my heels within the first 2 minutes. Okay, so this is what my lesson plans look like. They're very basic just because it's so much project-based stuff that I don't necessarily need written out for myself step by step. So for 4th grade this week, this is all of the things that we did. So up here in the top row, I have my warm-ups basically. Plan about 5 or 10 minutes of class time on that. And then we have 45-minute classes. So the rest of the time, 30 minutes or so before we clean up, is the project of the day. So this is everything that we did this week. And then I will see a different class of kids all of next week. So they have 5 days with me with that teacher, and then I will see one other class the 3rd week, and then I'll circle back to these kids and have a new lesson plan. But for now, 4th grade next week is super easy because I'm just redoing everything I did this week. 1st grade is going to be the same setup. We're trying some typing things, but all of my 3rd and 4th graders, we're a 1-to-1 district for iPads, and all of my 3rd and 4th graders have keyboards. And I didn't realize until today that my 1st graders just have iPads. So I'm trying to decide. I'd still like to do typing because I think it's good letter recognition and word practice, but it won't be quite the way I'd like it to be because they don't have physical keyboards. But it went okay today with this class. And then we worked on the letter A in typing, and then we built initials out of those blocks, and that went okay. So I think we are going to do the same thing with 1st graders next week. And there's my lesson plan. The only thing I have to figure out, and that takes me through Wednesday at least, so I'll have to figure out what I start on Thursday. The next week my new stuff will start on Wednesday, etc. But I am going to be taking a day on Friday. So when I do come up with that new plan, I'm going to have to think about something that a substitute or a teacher stepping in to cover my class can handle. In 3rd grade, we're doing also more typing club, but the 1st graders are doing like a really elementary version. 3rd and 4th graders are doing a regular version of it. And then they are also building their initials. Oops. It bugs me when the lines aren't in the right place. Okay, and there's my 3rd grade plan all the way through Wednesday as well, and then I'll have to come up with something else for them. I'm kind of like, for the most part, I'd like to pull from my 4th grade plans and just simplify them. But some things like our wall mazes, I don't think are going to work in 1st grade. So some of those projects, I'm gonna have to just come up with something different and basic for 1st graders. Hello, mister. after a long week of teaching, I feel like I just need to kind of relax and do something different and be creative just for myself. So I am working on a sewing project. I really enjoy making my own patterns and just kind of figuring out how to make something. So I am going to do a little bit of work on that and call it good for the night. Sometimes it feels like threading my serger is half of the time that I spend on my serger. You have to thread the threads in a specific order or it will just break the threads over and over again. So it's time consuming. This fabric is very slippery, so I'm trying to get some pins in here, but it also shows every pinhole. So if I put a pin into this fabric, you're going to see it forever, and I don't want to see pinholes in my finished products. My very first scrunchie is all done. I went a little bit extra on the length of the fabric because I like my scrunchies very scrunched, but I might have done a tiny bit too much, so I might cut that back a little bit, and I forgot to do one step which resulted in more hand stitching than I had planned, so things to improve for next time.